What's up, everybody? It's Hank here with Break MMA. This should be a pretty good, cool episode because this man also enjoys talking MMA, loves MMA just like I do. Crazy sport. Definitely want to. I love football. We mentioned football. I love college football. I watch every college game. I watch every pro game. But nothing compares to MMA. MMA trumps all of them. Chandler Cole is with me here today. Hello, Chandler. How are you?
What's up, man? I actually just got back from I went to the Tennessee Alabama game. I'm an
Oh,
Alabama fan.
oh my
Went,
God, we are arch rivals automatically. I am a die hard LSU fan.
nah, you can't. We're not rival. You can't compete where you don't compare. So
Yeah, yeah.
nah, if you was an Auburn fan, then we'd have problems. But
I believe
nah,
LSU. I believe we've beat you a few times there.
you have. I mean, but the records. I mean, we still got the. I'm pretty sure our record's still better. Like
Oh yeah, they are. But
with losses.
this year, as far like from what we've seen so far, we beat LSU, beat Georgia. We've beat a lot of people. Our defense, it looks like it's going to give you guys. If we can't beat you guys, I don't think anybody will. Like our defense is really good, and you guys crush everybody. I mean, it's over in 3 minutes. I mean, it's 21-0 in 3 minutes. But I think if any team has a good shot against Bama this year, it is LSU with that high-powered defense and that they got a good quarterback. Burrow's really good.
And it should be a good game. Do we play all this week or next week?
I think it's next week. I think it's next week.
Next week. Yeah, I'm excited for it. I can't wait to see how we do. Which, a lot of people like last year they were like, "Oh, they're not going to be the same. They're not going to be as good." And I'm like, "Y'all are crazy." Like, Alabama's the type of program. Nick Saban is a genius. I don't know what he does to get kids to come there, but even kids like that come there that may not be like real promising, he turns them into freaks. So
Yeah, it's almost unfair.
he's definitely good. He's definitely a good coach, and his recruiting skills are unreal.
Yeah, it's almost unfair. Like I was talking to Eric Anders. I'm sure you know Eric Anders.
I know Eric. Yeah,
Yeah, I've had him on the show, and he went to Alabama, of course, and he was like, Nick is just one of those minds in football that you just don't run across that much. But a lot of it's their recruiting. It is weird how every single year they're just dominant. It's like normally a program has 2-3 good years, a bad year, 2-3 good years, a bad year. They don't have
yeah.
no bad years. They're top one, top two every single season.
They got. I think the worst season they had was. I want to say maybe my junior year of high school, 2000. Don't hold me to this. Maybe 2012, 2011. One of those years. It honestly could have been sooner than that. They lost to Texas A&M. They lost
I
to
remember that.
LSU.
Yeah.
I think they went like 9-3, 10-2, or something like that. That's the worst year they've had.
Yeah,
So,
they're always top. How old are you?
I'm actually 23 years
23.
old.
We're the same age.
Okay.
Yeah.
You born in 95?
94. 94.
Oh, 94. I was 95,
So
January
I'm actually
95.
older than you. Show some respect.
Elder.
But one
Hey.
thing I want to get into a little bit because I know you're a diehard MMA fan. We'll just touch on it briefly. This new historic deal, Ben Askren versus Mighty trade for Mighty Mouse 1 to the UFC. Me, I don't do it. If one calls me and says, "Hey, I'll give you Ben Askren for Mighty Mouse," I hang up the phone and laugh at them. It's
Yeah.
crazy that this has happened. I feel like the UFC has. I feel like one definitely got the better of this trade.
I don't think so, man. I think that Mighty Mouse is he's definitely one of the greatest of all times. But as far as selling himself and like getting people behind him, he's not really one of those guys, So and this is from a business standpoint. Did they get rid of a better fighter? Possibly, But when you think of Ben Askren coming to the UFC, one, his mouth is going to get a lot of attention. I mean, he can talk the talk. I mean, he talks a lot of crap. Two, you look at like the matchups that can be made. You're thinking of Ben Askren versus Tyron Woodley, which I know they're good friends, but even Ben Askren versus
GSP.
gosh, what's his name? Us
GSP,
Usman, whatever.
Usman, yeah.
Yeah, the Nigerian Nightmare. I mean, that's a good one.
Darren
It could
Till,
be
Robbie
Darren
Lawler.
Till, Robbie Lawler, Stephen Thompson.
Yeah.
Say Khabib bumps up. He wanted to fight George St. Pierre. What if he bumps up and fights Ben Askren? Like, that'd be awesome.
But
That
Ben
would be
Askren's not a
awesome.
draw either. I mean, I love Ben Askren. I'm a Ben Askren fan, but he's not a huge star. I mean, we'll see his star power, and I argued on the podcast last night that I don't think you throw him a top 5 right away. I think you throw him somewhere like 7 to 9, 7 to 10. Give him whoever's ranked number 7 right now, and if he mauls them and destroys them, give him a 3, then a 2, then a 1, rather than
Which, none of his fights have been. I mean, he is,
undefeated.
and like a lot of people look at him and they're like, okay, he's just one of those wrestlers that hug people. But, his even not his MMA accolades. Look at his just amateur wrestling accolades. Like he was a 2-time national champion, 4-time national finalist, 2-time national Hodge winner. I mean, the dude is a freak of nature. So I don't know, man. I think in the wrestling community, just the wrestling community alone, he pulls a lot of fans. As far as like one, I can't name that many fighters that fight for one. Only one I knew was Ben Askren.
And Eddie Alvarez now.
And but as far as like a draw, like it's hard for people to get behind people who's not in the UFC or Bellator.
I get. We'll see his star power, but I just don't think. As far like you, I 100% agree with Mighty Mouse. Mighty Mouse isn't a draw either. Mighty Mouse isn't going to draw that big numbers, but I don't think Ben Askren will either. I think you traded something that could be good versus something that is good. It's kind of like I compared it to if Bellator called the UFC and was like, "Hey, we'll give you Michael Venom Page, MVP. He's a bright up and comer, star, charismatic, flashy. If you give us Robert Whittaker, would you trade your middleweight champion? Would you trade somebody who's certified and proven themselves and is a proven great fighter for somebody who just might be new, something new? So something new is something.
I feel you. Well, I guess the way I look at that though is you go back and look at Robert Whittaker's fights. Mighty Mouse don't have any fights like that, Like watching them fight is like, and honestly, I think it's the division. I think it's the flyweight division. I think that it's just people don't get excited about that. When you get to like 145 and up, you start to see like the fights. You get to see and the thing with MMA fans is that a lot of MMA fans aren't intelligent. I know that sounds bad, but like they're not like intelligent on the actual sport. So like a lot of times you see Stephen Thompson versus Darren Till, or Stephen Thompson versus Tyron Woodley. Those were great fights. But as an MMA fan, like they caught a lot of heat because it's like, oh, that was so boring, it's stupid, blah, blah. Well, those two are the top in the world, two top fighters in the world. And they have to take their time. They have to, when you catch people who are super good, it's not just, hey, I'm gonna go out there and knock them out. It's a game of chess, and a lot of people don't understand that because people don't want to see that. That ain't what sells. What sells is, and that's why I've been asking. One thing about him is he's a very boring fighter too, but he takes people down and rides them out and beats them up. But more people will pay to watch the bad guy lose than pay to watch the good guy win. And I think that's why it was a smart trade for Mighty Mouse to get traded, because a lot of people are going to watch Ben Askren. People hate him. I don't know why I like him, but a lot of people hate him just because I respect the sport of wrestling. But a lot of people really, and especially after he already got on Twitter talking that smack, like everybody wants to see him lose. So yeah. I think a lot of people tune into him just to see him, hey, welcome to the big leagues. Like, now you get your chance to, fight these top tier guys instead of the people that you've been fighting. So,
yeah,
I mean, I'm excited to watch. I'm excited to watch just to see what he'll build up a fight, but he'll fight. Of course, he's gonna do his thing. He won't take a lot of shots. He'll take them down. But what's he gonna do when he can't at the very top level of MMA? So, I don't know. I'm definitely more excited. Mighty Mouse has proven himself. He'll do his thing in one. But I'm excited about this trade. I'm excited just because I want to see what Ben Askren actually brings to the table when you're talking about the best of the best of the best in the world.
Definitely. I believe that one got the better of it, but I think it's an all right trade. It's an all right trade, but definitely agree too on the people want to see knockouts. You know, they want to see flashy wheel kick knockouts, big fists, big punches, Superman punch knockouts. You know, I love watching a technical 3 or 5 round decision, but a lot of casuals don't like that. Stephen Thompson, speaking of that, Stephen Thompson beat Robert Whitaker way back in the day, if you'll remember, at welterweight, not at middleweight, though. But one thing, speaking of Khabib, too, you mentioned Khabib. Did you watch 229? Did you order 229?
I did.
Who did you have winning?
What now?
Who did before it started? As you were watching, what was your prediction? Who did you have winning?
I'm a huge Conor McGregor fan. I like the fact that he, everybody gets mad at the whole bus issue, but you got to think about why he did it. Yeah, he may have flew over here with his goons and threw a dolly through a bus. That's not what his plan was. He never said there's going to be a dolly laying there and I'm going to throw it through the window. That's not his plan. Artem is no joke. His training partner has been for years, and that's like his brother. You know, I have a similar teammate like that. His name's Charles Philpott. And, that's you get a special bond punching someone in the face. I don't know what it is. But when you're trying to make each other both great, I mean, there's something special about that. And, man, I completely understand. If someone was to smack my brother, I can remember one time this guy, it was at a county fair, this guy called me the N-word and was wanting to fight me. Well, I was just going along with it or whatever. I was like, yeah, whatever, because, can't fight everybody that's racist or you'll be fighting the whole world, So I was like, yeah, whatever, Well, my brother calls me and he's like, hey, it done got back to me. He's like, where's this guy at? It's kind of the same mentality. Conor seen where Khabib punked him, and Khabib had his boys with him at the time. It wasn't Artem and all his friends. It was Artem, and he smacked him, and, Khabib smacked him, and he had all his friends with him. I think Conor just said, I don't know what I'm going to do when I get there, but I'm going to do something. I'm going to go crazy, and that's what he did. So what he did, I don't look bad at. I completely understand. He earned more respect for me for doing that than what he would have done if he'd been like, dang, man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you got smacked. It just shows how close they are,
It's like you said with him and Artem. Artem is his brother. There's videos of when Conor first started in MMA. Artem is in his corner. There's a few people in Conor's close circle. He's got a lot of friends, but he's got a really close, tight circle, and Artem is definitely one of those people.
So I can't blame him, I couldn't imagine me getting a phone call saying, hey, this dude just smacked him. I'd be like, babe, give me your car keys. I got to take the key, baby, but I'm going.
But I assume you had Conor winning by knockout, right? You thought Conor would catch him in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, I did. My thing was I knew that the way the fight went was exactly how I pictured it. But then when you throw Conor McGregor in there, you're like, okay, I've seen crazier stuff out of this guy. Yeah. Eddie Alvarez should have beat him. Stylistically, didn't happen. So I thought it would be like that. I think Khabib fought the fight exactly how he should have fought it. And that's how I seen the fight. How I wanted the fight was Conor McGregor knock him out, just because the hype. Now the hype is kind of dead, like now everybody's like, oh, Conor's not the best. Conor sucks. It's like, have you seen the people he's beat though? Like,
he's
you can't tell me.
9-2 in the UFC. I tweeted out, and because a lot of people forget, I was like, let's not forget, Conor McGregor is 9-2 in the UFC, and one of those losses was to Nate Diaz, which he avenged. So he's only lost to one person, Khabib.
Well, his whole MMA career, the only fight he hasn't avenged is Khabib.
Yep.
Every fight he's ever lost, he's
and
back on
Duffy, Joseph Duffy.
Did he not beat him?
No, Joseph Duffy beat him, and then he's not in the UFC anymore. I don't think so. No, but other than that, which that was early in his career, but not like now. I had Khabib winning the whole because it was just like it's kind of like a unwinnable scenario for Conor. Conor,
yeah.
He's a stand-up fighter with a awkward stance, southpaw, switches stances, a lot of movement back and forth, and very awkward. Gets in your mind and mind fucks you. He probably should have lost to Aldo. but got in Otto's mind, fucked him up, knocked him out in 13 seconds. He probably should have said, like you said, should have lost to Eddie. Got Eddie to doubt himself just a little bit and made him look like he wasn't even in the same planet as Conor. Just smoked him.
That fight was embarrassing. He made Eddie Alvarez look ridiculous.
Yeah, Eddie a legend. Eddie will be a Hall of Famer. Bellator champ, UFC champ, Elite X, like everywhere he's been a world champ. And then Conor with Nate fought Nate on 2 weeks' notice, loses. Which Nate Diaz is my favorite fighter, by the way. My youngest son is named after Nate Diaz. He's my absolute favorite fighter ever. So Nate beats Conor, and then they rematch, and Conor beats Nate by like this much, a majority decision. Arguably could have went either way. Conor's always, and then of course the Mayweather thing, which nobody expected him to win, but he did do great. He did a great job against Floyd Mayweather. Landed some good shots, put on a good performance for someone who'd never boxed professionally. And then Khabib, he comes back and he's like, look, I want to go right for Khabib. The bust attack obviously fueled it. I believe if that bust attack hadn't happened, you might not have had Khabib Conor first. You might have had Conor Nate and then Conor Khabib, if that bust attack hadn't happened. But it does, so we get Conor Khabib. And that shows you the balls, the balls of McGregor to say, I'm going to come right back after 2 years and fight Khabib. And I said this on the podcast again last night. I don't think anybody in the UFC beats Khabib. People talk about Tony Ferguson. Some people bring up Ben Askren. Let's not forget that Kevin Lee held down Tony Ferguson for a whole round and smashed him when they fought. If Kevin Lee can do that, what the hell do you think Khabib can do? I don't, in my personal opinion, I love Nate. I don't see Nate Diaz beating Khabib. I don't see Conor beating Khabib. I don't see Ben Askren. Whoever else you want to name. Kevin Lee, Tony Ferguson, Justin Gaethje, Ali Quinta. I don't see anybody in the UFC being able to stop him on the ground.
I think the one thing that I do think, if he bumps to 70, I see he don't take Tyron Woodley down like that. I don't see that.
I wonder what Khabib walks around at. I wonder what his walk around weight is.
Right, I'd say 78, 80.
Probably 80s, maybe 80s. That's still not. Tyron Woodley walks around 200 pounds.
Oh, and that's what I'm saying, man. Is once you bump up a weight class, you're bumping. It ain't just bumping up, man. And you're catching guys that walk around at like a bigger weight. They're just bigger humans. I don't think Khabib, which he has a hard weight cut too. He has a really hard weight cut. I don't see him beating Tyron Woodley. He better, for his legacy, he needs to stay at 55 because he'll smash everybody at 55. He's not taking Tyron Woodley down like that. Tyron Woodley is a freak of nature. Who would have thought he would have dropped Darren Till?
I had Till winning. I picked Till to win, and Till just. I thought that he was a little nervous. He didn't look like he wanted to pull the trigger. Like he'd get him in a stance where he could have attacked, and Tyron is very good at giving you the illusion that you have to work when you really don't have to work. He's good at making you use energy when you don't have to use energy. I think that he confused Darren Till, blasted him, and strangled him.
Man, I'll tell you one thing is, with people who are elite wrestlers, because Tyron Woodley he's a freak of nature. He's a black belt now in jiu-jitsu. When they have such an elite grappling background, it opens up a lot. Till did not think that he was going to come. Of course, he thought he was going to stand, but he didn't think he was going to try to actually stand. Close the distance, grab him. He spent a lot of time on the cage. I think he took him down at the end of the first or something, if I can remember. Something of that nature. Took him down. And I think in the second round, Darren Till was like, okay, he's going to try to grapple. So I need to be more defensive. And when he shoots, sprawl, and on the stand-up or something, I need to explode or do something. I think that when he would come in for the entry, I think Till was so worried because he does this thing where it's like he takes that back, he leans, he goes back with the punch, and then he explodes through it. And I think that Till threw a punch and I don't think he was trying to hit him with it. I think he was just trying to keep him away from the takedown. And when he did, he takes that counter step back and exploded forward and dropped him, and then got him down and grappled him. I'm talking. So you got a rock there until then he gets elbow, gets split open. So then you got a bloody, just got rocked, laying on the ground, kind of panicking, and then he chokes him out. So he's using all that energy because, my only fight that I lost, I don't think that the guy was that. This sounds very cliche. I don't think the guy was that much better than me. I've tried to rematch him 1,000 times. His manager just says it's not good business right now. So whatever. But, one thing that really hurt me is I came out. I wasn't in good shape to begin with. Took it on 2 weeks' notice because I was that cocky. I got bit in the butt. But, I'm fighting. And I'm going for takedown. I'm not getting it. Well, then he knees me in the face, splits my eye open. So now I'm bleeding. Okay, I see blood dropping. I'm like, oh, God, something bad. I'm busted. So then I'm panicking even more. Well, with that panic, I gassed. I kept trying to shoot. So I completely understand. He got dropped. He got cut. And now he has someone on top of him. He's freaking out. So, all that together just set him up to lose. And I think that's it's crazy how scenarios like that happen in fights.
Speaking of weight and record,
as far as Tyron Woodley goes, man, he's a freak. He's a freak right now.
He's definitely underappreciated champion for sure. But
he is, man. He is. Look who he's beat. You're talking about how he beat Robbie Lawler, the toughest welterweight. That fight with him and Roy McDonald was crazy. He beat Robbie Lawler.
Condon.
Then he beats who else does he beat? He beat Steve Austin twice. Stand-up's ridiculous. Yeah. And then he beats I'm talking after he won the title, who he beat? Oh, Damian Ma, whose ground plan is ridiculous. And threw his shoulder out of place in that fight in the first round with the overhand right, and still somehow managed to win. So he's a freak of nature when he's healthy.
Nate Marquardt did knock him out. He does have one knockout loss to Nate Marquardt in Strikeforce with those elbows against the fence.
Yeah, man. But with time though, fighters grow crazy. Fighters develop. It's crazy. It's crazy now that I'm watching fighting. Now that I'm watching MMA, it's crazy because now I can say I've been watching it long enough to really look back and look at all the fights, and to see fighters develop is special. Because there was a time Robbie Lawler was getting beat up as a teenager. I think he went to a high school. He went to a high school prom and then flew out and done a weigh-in and then fought the next day. He was like 19, 20 years old. So it's crazy to see where guys were and where they're at.
Yeah, definitely. I've seen a lot of reports on you about your record, and what is your official record? Is it 4-1 right now? Is your official professional record 4-1?
Yeah. Which I had a very, 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 blessed amateur career that really helped me. I fought. There's a promotion around here called Black Diamond Beatdown Cage Combat. I was the champ for both of them. And then my very last amateur fight, I fought for Valor, and it was for the Tennessee State title and for the promotional title. And I wrecked. The guy that I was supposed to fight was the number one ranked guy in their little system they had. Well, I beat him. I wrecked him, and they thought it was good. I thought it was good. So I decided, I was like, you know what? It's time to go pro. Like, I'm ready to go pro. I'm ready to start making money. So I turned pro when I was 21, I think, 2 years ago. Yeah, I was 21 years old, made that transition, turned pro, and that was my first pro contract. I had a three fight contract with them. So, and then after that was I'm not in contract with them now, but I am their champion. I'm their heavyweight champion. So now I'm just seeing what life has to offer, man. My girlfriend's pregnant. Got a beautiful little girl about to be here in a little over a month. So right now I'm just chilling. I'm not. the whole dad thing scares me. I'll do good, I know, but as far as like me needing to be here for my girlfriend, I don't need to be getting ready for a fight right now or anything like that. I need to get used to being a dad because I used to be Chandler, Chandler the Hammer Cole, the fighter from Cobra, but now I got a better title, and that's gonna be dad, and I want to be the best dad I can be. So, fighting will be put on hold for a little bit, but as soon as I come back, I plan on doing what I always do, just training hard, working hard, and getting better, growing and learning. And hopefully, man, next season around April, I think it runs to like July. I'd like to get on that contender series. I think 4-1. Yeah, it's not a lot of fights, but I've seen Juan Adams was 3-0. And I watched him fight. I think we got like a little Twitter fight one time because I caught out his friend. But I think I do a good fight against him. I
had him on the show. It's funny you said that because I actually had him on the show.
Juan Adams?
Yes.
He's a cool guy. I mean, he's cool, but like he called me out on Twitter because I was talking about Mike Jackson. But like what I said was really like what I said was a lot of truth to it. Mike Jackson got on there and said something about Logan Paul. I think Logan Paul versus CM Punk, one would be a seller. And two, does Logan Paul deserve to be in the UFC? No. But who can classify who deserves to be in the UFC? Like, Mike Jackson was in the UFC. He was 0-1. So, like, what's the standard to be in the UFC? Like,
Yeah, if Dana called me and said, "Hey, Hank, I'll give you $1 million. You've never fought. You've never been in a fight. But I'll pay you to go out and fight in front of an audience." It doesn't. You don't have to have a certain amount of experience, or you don't have to meet some imaginary spectacle to be able to fight in the UFC.
And you're talking about like people getting traded now. Like there's trades,
Yeah.
Like anything can happen, man. And as from a business standpoint, I think if they was to book Logan Paul versus CM Punk, oh my God, dude. Him and that one guy just done a boxing match, and it was like they both made $1 million. So they can't tell me that wouldn't be genius. A main event, no, but you put them on the pay-per-view, very first fight, people's buying that pay-per-view. People's gonna watch that. I would watch it. Me talking about it. I think Dana White should pay me if he does it for the idea.
It'd be a cool idea. I've seen on your researching you too. You're a heavyweight, but I've also seen in interviews you say light heavyweight and middleweight. Have you actually made it all the way down to 185?
I weighed in one time and I was 188.1. I missed weight, but on the thing, like on the fight, if you go back and watch the fight, they'll say he was 4 pounds over. Well, we had a 2.9 weight, thing, and I cut, and I was like 2 ounces over. So like. I literally cut all I could cut. Like I was.
You're a big boy I seen that one fight that you're talking about in Valor, and I've seen a few other highlights. And when you said that in your interview, I was like, how in the hell did he even get close to 180 pounds? What's your original walking around weight?
Well, man, with injuries and just life in general, dude, it just depends. It depends on how you catch me. I was walking around 240 when I was cutting at 205 and 85. So
is heavyweight optimal though? Like if you have your preference, you prefer heavyweight over light heavyweight?
I just think heavyweight. I think a lot of people get the misconception of how I work. People will see me move right now and they're like, "Oh my God, dude, you move so good." I weigh 265, 270 right now, and you get me down to 245, 240, I move great. I move real wonderful. But a lot of people have their opinions, and I'm like, okay, well, a lot of people don't. I tore my ACL last year, was sidelined. A year before that, I blew my back out. Year before that, I tore ligaments in my ankle. A lot of injuries has set me back and has really sidelined me and really affected me. Which I don't use that as an excuse. I gained weight. What I do, I fought at heavyweight. I could have just been like, I ain't fighting until I get my weight under control. But I just love fighting. I'm obsessed with fighting. I get a call. I'm like, okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about money. A lot of people would be scared to do what I do. A lot of people would be like, I hear people all the time, I'm too small. I'm too small for heavyweight. I can't fight heavyweight, dude. I'm 5'10". You know, I'm 5'10" fighting heavyweight. Like it doesn't. That stuff don't matter. Your world champion's 5'10", and I'm not saying I'm Daniel Cormier, but it really just depends about who the person is. You know, I've
Definitely.
sparred with plenty of great people who are 6'5", 6'4", and me take them down and handle them pretty easy. It ain't about that. Honestly, sometimes it ain't about your body. It matters about who the guy is inside of you. Like sometimes you just got to have the fight inside of you. So a lot of people have their opinions. I want to cut down to 205 again, just so I look better, feel better, and I think that'll be better for me. But as far as heavyweight goes, like I think I do fine. I think that I give a lot of heavyweights a really bad matchup just because one, I am short, but I'm starting to learn the stand up game a lot better now. So I understand how to get in, how to take off shots, and I move really well. So it it's one of those things where we'll see where I weigh in March. I right now I want to lose weight just for myself, but we'll see where I weigh in March and then go from there.
So you talk about putting fighting on the back burner just a little bit because you're about to be a dad and all that. Are you currently under any contract? Like, are you signed to anywhere right now, or are you a complete free agent?
No, I mean the only contract I have is with Valor, and that's just because I'm the champion. It says I have to defend it in 6 months. We'll see. In 6 months, I'll see if I'm the type of person, man. I love being champion, but being a champion is not everything in life. You know what I'm saying? And I'm in a position now to where I hope to be getting a call for a big promotion. So, I love Val. They do me really good, but at the same time, like if I feel like I'm not mentally prepared to fight, like if the whole dad thing's getting the best of me, and I can't mentally get myself into it, then I'll just vacate the belt. Like that's not a. I want to fight, and then when I come back, I'll just fight and win it again if I have to. Like, but as far as like getting ready for this whole dad thing, like this really means a lot to me. I'm 23 years old, and you know, I really just want to be the best dad I can. Like that's the number one goal right now is to be the best dad I can. So we'll see how I get settled in and all that stuff, and then after I'm roll. Like as soon as I get settled in, we'll see what's up. We'll see what I know what the contract says, but we'll see what they say, uh, and then we'll go from there.
I've had three kids myself. Just had a girl 2 months ago. I had two boys originally, so I never knew what it was like to have a girl. I just had my first girl 2 months ago. My last child I'm gonna have, and you'll love it, man. It's crazy being a dad. I started off with boys, and it's gonna be a whole new boat for you because you're gonna start off fresh with a girl. But it's crazy fun. It's you get used to it. I was the one that I don't know about you, but I didn't have no younger brothers or sisters, or I was never around any other kids, and I was literally had no interactions ever with kids or babies. But your own kids are different. Like once you hold her for that first time, and once you get into the groove of it, it'll. But be ready to be woke up every hour, but it'll be worth it.
Yeah, man. And that's just it. Is like, parenting takes a lot of effort, and I feel like a lot of people. Uh, Anything I've ever done, I've tried to do it the best I can. I'm also a wrestling coach. I try to be the best coach I can be, just because I had a really good coach, and who says I deserved it? And these kids come and work hard for me every day, so they really deserve a good coach. So I'll try to be the best coach I can be. Fighting, for my fans and for everyone who supports me, they deserve me at my best. So, and as far as me being a dad, like this little girl, she didn't ask to be here, but she's coming. So I'm gonna be the best dad I can be.
Names picked
I'm
out? You
not
got a
gonna.
name picked out yet?
What
Have you guys discussed girl names? Have you got a name selected already?
Yeah, we're gonna name her Chloe Javea.
That's a cool one.
So yeah, the mom picked the name. It really wasn't me, but I wanted to name her Javea, just the first name, something. But it's all good, regardless. It's my daughter, and I'm a lover. I'll get used to the name.
Definitely, definitely.
Chloe Cole.
It's a great experience. You know, that first time holding them, watching them come out. It can be a life changing experience for sure. I appreciate your time, man. Do you want to do any shout outs before we get off here?
Yeah, I got two sponsors. That really have. I got more than two, but these two really been doing good for me. Last little bit. Beast Coast Unlimited, best gear on the market. They really hooked me up, and the quality is unreal. I would recommend everybody checking them out, getting some custom gloves off them, shin guards, stuff of that nature. And then Turp House. They hooked me up with CBD oils that really help with like my joints and stuff. It doesn't have no THC in it; it's straight CBD, so that really helps me out. And then Southern Steel Tattoos, they're a local sponsor. They've been with me the whole entire journey, the whole entire fight game, and they've blessed me beyond measure. So they know where they stand as far as sponsors. They're more like family than anything. Damage control mouthpieces. Even though I still need to send my mold in, I've had it for 2 months. I still don't know why I ain't sending it in. I have it made, I just ain't sending it in. Yeah, that's all I can think of right now. And just my coaches and my wrestlers, they keep me on my toes, but they motivate me to work hard as well. And just my family, friends.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate your time so much. I appreciate you responding to me. You know, like you said before we went live, we just love talking MMA. It doesn't matter if we're
I love
talking
MMA.
Ben Askren or Conor could be. It doesn't really matter. You know, we love debates, love hearing other people's point of view, your point of view, mine, and it was a really good conversation, man. I'll message you again, and we'll get you on here for like a football episode, or talk Bama or
Absolutely.
LSU, or I don't know if you're a pro fan too. Do you watch pro football too?
Yeah, I'm a New England Patriots fan.
So am I. Dude, we're dead.
Okay,
I'm
good deal, good deal, good deal. You think this is Gronk's last year?
hell no. Gronk will sign. They'll sign him. They'll sign him to a 2 or 3 year extension.
They say he's done, man. They say injuries has really set him back.
He's still the best tight end in the NFL for sure. For
He's
sure.
one of the best of all time. He's the man. But hey, man, I appreciate you bringing me on. When you get this upload, just tag me, and hey, we'll kick it from there.
Yes, sir. I will. It'll probably take a few hours because I'm running it off Wi-Fi, but I will
Okay.
definitely tag you in it as soon as it's done, and we'll get you on here again soon.
All right, good deal. Thank you, buddy.
Be careful.
Always.
That was a good episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. I want to do a quick shout out too. I want to shout out EA Sports UFC 3 game on PS4. Check it out. Go buy it if you haven't. Really fun. Shout out to Proper 12 Irish Whiskey. This is it's more about the liquor. It's more about just the taste of the liquor. It's the experience. This is Conor McGregor's whiskey. It's buy one. If I were you guys and you're a true MMA fan, buy a bottle just to have the bottle. Even if you don't drink it or even if you don't have it, it's a great MMA prop. This is like an MMA piece of history. 100 years from now, if these bottles are still around, you'll be able to say that was the notorious Conor McGregor's Irish whiskey. So shout out to Proper 12 Whiskey and A&W Cream Soda. All guys watching, anybody watching this podcast, anybody who likes this podcast, I'm telling you guys, mix these two. Take you some Proper 12, do like a shot, one shot, and do a half bottle, whole bottle of this. Mix it good where it overpowers it. You want the A&W to overpower the Proper 12. Proper 12 by itself isn't that good. Add this and it's amazing. Also, it might sound disgusting. Take a scoop of vanilla ice cream and throw it in your Proper 12. Sounds nasty, I know. I've tried it. It's good though. Take honey, fresh honey like out of the squirt bottle, and drop a couple of drops of honey in there. The Proper 12 is honey and vanilla. You need to make the honey and vanilla stick out more. That's where this comes in. So, once again, if you guys haven't tried Proper 12 or bought Proper 12, get it. Get A&W Cream Soda. For everybody that was listening and watching, I appreciate it. This is Hank with Break MMA. See you guys.